Hello everyone, I am Prashant Nandam. Welcome back to our channel. And as a part of our AWS Masterclass series, today we will be covering session 6 and we will be seeing how to attach EBS volume and how to attach it to EC2 instance on Linux missions and Windows missions. Let's start. First, we will go with the Windows missions and first let me create an Windows mission, Windows EC2 mission, then we'll attach ABC volume and then we'll see how to as we discussed in our previous sessions, to launch an EC2 instance you have to click on EC2 and create instance and then provide a name for the EC2 EC2 iPhone Windows iPhone PR. This is my mission name and select a Windows AMI. If you are not aware of what is AMI and everything, you can watch our previous session. We have a brief overview and demo on AMI. And then let me select free tier if I have any. Pull T2 micro, and I'll be creating a new key pair, and key pair is used to connect our EC2 instance. Windows hyper key. Let's keep it as open SSH only. Yeah, it is downloaded, and let me select our existing VPC. It is public subnet, and then we need public IP to be assigned to this, and let's select our existing security group. This is a root volume, and whenever we create an EC2 instance, it is mandatory that it is created with an EBS volume, and 30 GB is our current volume. And yeah, cool. Let's launch. Let's go to our mission instances. Once it's in powered on state, I'll pause here and I'll get back to you once it is in powered on state. Yeah, our mission is in powered on state, and let's connect to it. Click on instance ID and click on connect. You can see RDP client, and you can download this one. Download remote desktop. I already downloaded just in a while. Let's launch that mission and click on connect. It will ask for the password, and just once I'm logging with the password, I'll get back to you. Cool. I have connected to the mission. Let's wait till it launch. Great. Our mission is up and running. Let's open run disk management. Disk management. Cool. Now disk management is opened. If you see here, this is our C drive and this is the root MB. I mean root EBS volume, which we assigned while creating the mission. Okay. Now what we will do, we will assign a EBS volume to this mission, and we will see how to make this as a file system and usable one. To do that, let's go to EC2 mission again, and at the left side click on volumes and then click on create volume, and in place of create volume, okay, let me, and ensure the EBS volume which you are creating and the EC2 instance which you have already created are in the same zone. and which region, which one it is, let's verify. AP-South 1A, and the EBS volume should also be in same region. And now click create. A volume will be created. This is our volume, and click on volumes again, and if you see 100 GB, this is the volume which we recently created. Let's rename it win wall -pr, and let me for this is the volume which we now created, and click check mark this and click on actions, then attach volume, and then here select the instance which we recently created, and then this we can select any. If you see here for Windows Dev SDA1, or for root volume SDFA2 PR, we can, let's select SVDF and click on attach volume. Now go back to your EC2 instance, refresh, see 100 GB is also attached. Now we need to go back to our VM, I mean the EC2 instance which we created, and if you see here, let me maximize this. Here if you see unallocated, okay, and this is the one which recently added. Now initialize the disk and click OK. It was in offline state, so we made it online and we initialize the disk, and now click on new sample volume, and then we can follow this one, click next, and we can select multiple partitions. For suppose it is showing 102.397, right? We can make a partition of this into two drives. For suppose if you see in files, it will show you only C drive. C drive it is showing, and it is also root volume. And now in the partition of this place, if you select multiple times, and if for suppose if you say 50 GB here and 50 GB for E drive and 50 GB for F drive, then here two drives will be shown. One is for 50 GB and the other is for 50 GB. Okay, I want to go with the complete GB, and I'll just click on the next, and it is file system is ntfs, and volume label is new volume, and let me click finish it, and it will start. Okay, let's verify now. See here you can see 100 GB volume. This is how we will create a EC2 instance with the root volume, and then again we can create a volume, new volume, and we can attach it to the EC2 instance, and we can allocate it. And the one thing I want to mention here is, now we have 100 GB allocated. Now if I here I can upgrade my 100 GB to 200 GB or 150 GB or 1000 GB, but I cannot downgrade it. Once I'm reached it to 100 GB, and if you want to go back to 50 GB, it is not possible. Why? Because we intentionally selected 100 GB for our use case. In that scenario, if you want to downgrade, it is not possible. We can only upgrade the storage. Hope you understood. This is how we'll do for Windows, and let's do it for Linux missions now. Let me terminate this mission to avoid cost. Okay, cool. The mission will be terminated now, and the respective volumes also will be deleted, I believe. Now what we will do, we will create a Linux mission, and then we'll see how. Now we will create a Linux mission with a root volume, and then we will attach a volume, and then what we will do, we will allocate that volume to Linux missions, and later with that allocated volume we will take a snapshot and we will attach it to a new EC2 instance, and we'll see what happens. Okay, hope you understood. Let's create a Linux mission. Linux PR. Let's go with Rocky. Do we have Rocky Linux here? Let me search. Rocky Linux. Yeah, let's go with 8. Yeah, I have selected the Linux mission, and I'll be selecting a new key pair. I want to go with POTI, so I'll select Linux PR key, and I'll create a key pair for this. Yeah, it is downloaded in our mission, and I'll change the default VPC to our VPC, and I'll select it to public subnet. We need a public IP assigned to this mission, and I'll select the existing security group. If you are not aware of these things, you can watch our previous videos. I have explained them earlier. And okay, default 10 GB. Let's take it 20 GB, no? Why, or else take 30 GB. Cool. Now let's launch our instance. Let's verify if Windows is terminated or not. Yeah, Windows is terminated, and the volumes does they deleted. Okay, let me delete this volume actions, and then delete volume, delete in use. Okay, now let's connect to our mission. Let's copy this public IP, and then let me take POTI session, POTI, and I need to upload the key here, Linux PR key, and click open. Go back to login screen. Let's open this one. Okay, it seems to be connection refused. Let's click. Let me try again. SSH auth and the private key. I'll accept this one, and our username is root. Cool, I'm authenticated it to it. Now I'm into our mission, which is crazy. It's got terminated. Why? Let me try to connect again. Some issue, I believe. root. Okay, asking me to log in as a Rocky instead of root. Let's try. Cool. Now we are into our mission and we have created our root volume, and let's verify whether it is available or not. And to do that, we can run a command lsblk. It will list all the available block or devices which are attached to this system. See, 30 GB is attached. Okay, now what we will do, as we did earlier, let's create a new volume for our EC2 instance. Let's take it as 100 and ensure it is also in same zone where the EC2 instance is deployed. Just click create volume, and on the 100 GB volume, just for reference, change it to Linux EBS and click on actions. It might still getting created. You see it is creating. Let's wait till it create. Yeah, it is available now. Check mark this one, click on actions, attach volume, and select the instance which we have, and let's go here. Now click attach volume, and it seems our EC2 instance is attached. The yeah, if I click on this one and volumes, we can see two volumes attached. Okay, two volumes, and instance and storage. Here are two volumes attached. Now I'll go to our terminal again. Let me maximize this for you, and I'll clear the screen. Now if I do lsblk, if you see 100 GB NVNMI here, okay, and here this one NV last one N1 is a newly attached EBS volume, and it is in unformat volume. Let me see if I can increase the size of the text. Change settings, appearance, font. Is there anywhere font? Yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah, now we are able to see the newly attached volume, and it is in unformatted way. So now what we'll do, we will verify all the partitions once. Okay, let me clear the screen, and I'll run sudo fdisk -l. It will show us all the available partitions. This is 30 GB partitions, and see here, this is our 100 GB partition. Okay, and now we confirm that our 100 GB partition is available. Now we need to check the current file system type for this volume. Okay, to do that, just copy this one, copy, okay. Once you copy that one and run command which is sudo file -s, and then the name as it is shown here. It might differ for you, and verify what disk name is for 100 GB and run that only. Now I am checking the file system is already existed or not. If you see node, if you see here data, it means it is unformatted, and if you see any other thing, then I'll show you that later. Now we came to know that it is in data and it is unformatted value. Now we need to create a file system for that, and to create a file system we need to use command sudo make file system -t xfs, and then same what it was dev nvn. What it will do, it formats the volume with xfs file system. Okay, I click enter. Now let's verify whether it is whether the data is changed to store data or not. EBS volume is to store data or not, and to do that we need to verify the file system creation again. What we need to do, we need to run the previous command, which is sudo file -s. Now you can see sga file system data. Earlier what we seen, data we have seen. Okay, now what we are seeing, file system data, which means now we have created a file system for this. And after creating a file system, what we need to do, we need to create a directory. And to create a directory you can use sudo mkdir make directory, and then uh, let's say my volume and click enter. Okay, you have created a directory. Now we need to mount the data, which we mount the EBS volume which we assign to this EC2 instance to the directory which we created. And to do that, sudo mount, and then the dev, oh sorry, it got copied. Okay, sudo mount, and then what it was, dev, and then nvme1 and 1 and space, and the name of our directory, what our directory name, my volume, and click enter. Okay, now if you verify all the available file system and their usage in the human readable language, and the command is, let me clear the complete screen, command is df-h, see 100 GB is available now. Okay, that's how we will assign and we'll create directories. And hope you understood this. What all we did, we created a Linux EC2 instance. You can see here we created a Linux mission, and then we attached a volume 30 GB to it, and then we created a new volume 100 GB and we attached it to the same EC2 mission, and we ran few commands. What command? We ran lsblk. What it will do, it will list all the available volumes. Okay, lsblk, it will list all the available volumes. And after that what we have done, we have verified the partitions. To verify the partition, what command we have used, fdisk-l, and we are able to see the partitions here. Our partition was available. And here what we did, we verified the file systems if it is available for our new EBS volume or not. To verify, what we need to do, sudo file -s, and then the name of our disk, this one. This was Paisa, and click enter. Now what it is showing, X, xfs file system data. So we are done with the volume creation and everything, and our file system also contains a data, so it is showing this way. If not, what it is used to show, it is used to show data, which means we need to create a file system, and then we need to mount that mount that to a directory. Hope you understood. Now what we will do, we will verify which path we are. Let's create a snapshot now again. We are in uh, my volume, which is our volume, and let's create a file here. I'll create touch test1.txt, test2.txt, test3.txt, and I'll click enter. Okay, I need permissions itself. If I do ls, yeah, I have all the volumes created. Now what I'll do, I'll take a snapshot of this, create snapshot as snap -2 full. Let me go to snapshots. This is our snap. It's in pending state. Let's wait a moment. Yeah, everyone, if you see here, we have mounted the volume, and under our volume we have created 3 files, and we taken a snapshot of that. We taken a snapshot and we created a volume with that snapshot. This is our volume, and now what we are going to do, we will create a new EC2 instance and we will assign this volume to it, and we will verify if the files are available in that or not. And to do that, let's launch our mission, create a new instance. Let's say EC2 mission 2, and let's select Rocky Linux here. Rocky Linux, enter, and 8. Let's subscribe to it and subscribe launch on instance. Now we have selected the EC2 instance, and let's select our key pair and change these volumes to the our existing VPC, and this is our public subnet, and we need public IP for this. And let's select our existing security group, and this is okay. Now launch instance. Once the instance is launched, we will log into that instance, and later we will attach our snapshot volume to this existing mission, and we will verify if the files are created in it or not. Let's wait for 1-2 minutes. Let's copy this public IP, open putty, and let's paste our private key credentials and our key pair Linux key, open, and let's open our session. It might still under creation. Let's wait. Yeah, let's wait for another 2 minutes. It might be still creating, or checks might going. We'll try again. Public IP, then putting our IP, SSH, authentication, credentials, browse, Linux key pair, open. Let's click open. Yeah, give our username, which is Rocky. Let me maximize the screen, change font, appearance, change, and let me make it to 18. Apply. Okay, if I do lsblk, we'll see only the root volume which we got while creating the EC2 instance. Now go back to volumes, and this is our snap volume. Click actions, attach volume, select our EC2 mission, and device type, let's select dev SDF, and attach volume. the volume is now attached to our EC2 instance. We can verify under storage, and let's refresh. See, 100 GB is also in use. Now go back to our new mission. Okay, now if I let me clear the screen, it will be easy. Now if I run again lsblk, you will be seeing one volume. Okay, at bottom we can see our volume which we recently assigned. Okay, cool. Now what we'll do, we'll verify the partitions. Sudo fdisk -l, it will show us the partitions. See, this is our new partitions. Okay, great, wonderful. Now what we need to do, we need to verify if file system is created or not. To do that, what we need to do, sudo file -s and then dev and this thing, this name, it might be different in your case, please verify and use accordingly. nvme1n1, it tells xfs file system. Okay, cool. Now what we need to do, we need to create a directory, sudo mkdir, and then let's create restore. A file is created. Now what we need to do, we need to mount this to mount our new file system to this folder which we created, restore. Sudo mount dev nvme1n1 and then restore, click enter. Wonderful. Now if I do lsblk, it will be added to restore. Okay, now if I go to restore path and if I do ls, all the files will be here. See, if we see 224, it is our new mission's private IP instance, EC2 mission 224. Okay, and 70 is our old mission. 70 is our old mission. We have three files, test1, test2, test3. 224 is our new mission. We have three files which are test1, test2, test3. This is how we use EBS volumes. Hope you understood. Just to give a overview again, initially we created a EC2 instance and we attached a volume to it, and we verified how to verify the partitions, check the file system, and how to mount that volume to our mission. And later what we did, we created a snap of this image. Which image? For the Linux PR 100 GB image, we have created a snapshot of it, and that snapshot is this one, 100 GB snapshot. Later what we did, we created a volume for the snapshot. Under volumes we can see this one, volumes. Then what we did, we assigned this volume to our new EC2 instance, which is EC2 mission. And when we have taken the snapshot after creating the three files, first, if you miss this logic, first we mounted the volume and then we created the files under our volume. If you do not create files under your volume, or if you take snapshot before creating or attaching the volume, then the files may not be captured or backed up into the EBS volume. So after attaching the volume, you can go to that particular folder or create volumes, or after mounting the value, you can create a files and take snapshot of that volume and then create a volume for that snapshot and then assign it to a new EC2 instance. So similar way, we created files under this first mission, Linux PR mission. Then we created a snapshot of this 100 GB storage mission. Then we created a volume from that 100 GB snapshot. Then we assigned this 100 GB snapshot to our new EC2 instance, which is Rocky, which is EC2 mission. And then what we did, we verified the file system. I'll show you it here. here. We verified the file system. Yes, our 100 GB is showing. Wonderful. Then we verified the file disk partitions. Yes, it is also showing here. Then what we did, we verified the file system storage. Yes, it was showing XFS. Why it is not showing data as in our previous first mission? In first mission, when we verified dev nvme1, it was showing data. Then we created file system, then we assigned, we verified file system and we mounted. But in this case, it is directly showing file system data. Why? Because we added this volume from a snapshot. That is why it is showing in this way. So it is not required for us to create a file system. Just we need to verify if file system is created or not. So we confirmed file system is created. Then we created a folder which is restore, and then we mounted our new EBS volume to our restore folder, and then we changed our directory to restore, and then when we verified the file list, all the files are showing. This is how we work. Hope you understood the session. If you have any comments, please paste it in the chat. I'll try to explain you again in the comments feed. I kindly request you all to subscribe to our channel for more DevOps courses, and share the channel information to your friends or someone who is looking to learn DevOps. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye.